Hello, all you cool cats and kittens. It's me, Mrs. Pina, and welcome to this week's assembly. This week in assembly, we are going to be looking at digital citizenship. First, we're going to understand what a digital citizen is. Then we're going to learn about how to be a good digital citizen, and then we're going to look at some of the consequences if you're not so good at it. So firstly, let's understand what a digital citizen is. If you use any device like a desktop, laptop, Chromebook, tablet, cell phone, and you use any of those for work or for play, then you are a digital citizen. If you use any apps like the ones in front of you to create content, to comment on content, to agree, disagree, to like, dislike, or respond to anything, you are a digital citizen. This includes WhatsApp, Instagram, Gmail. It even includes Snapchat, TikTok, and yes, even Google Classroom. Anytime you use a device and you respond with a like, a comment, a follow, a share, an announcement, or any way that you respond to any of that digital media, then you are a digital citizen. Okay, so what does it mean to be a good digital citizen? Well, there are three key areas to being a good digital citizen. Firstly, you have to be safe. Then you have to be ethical. Then you have to be respectful. So let's look at being safe. The most important thing to know about safety when you are a digital citizen is to keep your private business private. Do not ever share your phone number with anybody. Do not share details like your birthday. Never tell anybody where you live, not your street address, not even your province or your suburb. And in keeping your private business private, don't share any details about your family. Don't tell anybody that you're excited because your mom's going to have a baby. Don't tell anybody that you have any brothers or sisters or anything about you. Keep that private. Because one of the key things to staying safe, besides keeping all your business private, is that you should never believe everything that you see online. There are a lot of people who pretend to be something that they're not. There are some not so nice people out there who want to get your information so that they can use it in the wrong way. If you're on a website and a deal looks too good to be true, an offer looks too good to be true, or someone is too good to be true, then it is too good to be true, and it's not the truth. It is probably a lie. So don't believe everything that you see online. It's very easy to fake things on the internet. Next is being ethical. It is very, very important to remember the internet never forgets. So what you say will stay. It is almost impossible to get anything removed off the internet. So if you pass a comment at a time that you're feeling angry, or maybe you're feeling sad and frustrated, and you say something, or someone's been unkind to you, and you just have a moment where you just say something back, chances are it will be there for much longer than you would like it to. So be very careful what you say online, because what you say will stay. An example of this is what happened to Trevor Noah. Now, we all know Trevor Noah, and we all know that he is one of the most highly paid and highly successful comedians in the world. But did you know that just before he took over in America on The Daily Show, Some people tried to stop him from getting his dream job. And why? Because they went into his Twitter and they found tweets that he had posted in 2009. So that was 6 years ago. They found them and they didn't like them and they said they weren't appropriate, and they tried to stop Trevor Noah from taking over The Daily Show. So that could have cost him his dream job. His life would have been very different if those internet trolls had won when they tried to stop him from getting the job. So you can see in this newspaper article, it was written in 2015, and they found tweets all the way back in 2009. And I know that that's before some of you were even born. Remember, what you say will stay, and later on you may have to pay. The internet never forgets. Some photos and videos might seem okay to you now, and you think, oh, this is fun, this is cool. But once it's on the internet, it's very hard to take it down. For example, this is a recent photo of The Rock. But if you Google, you'll find this snazzy picture. So you might feel differently about those pictures in the future, and you might not want people to see them, but they are there. So be very careful what pictures of yourself you post online, because it might be nice now, but in 10 years' time, you might kind of wish they were no longer there. This is all part of being ethical online. Another example of what you say will stay happened recently, now while we were on lockdown. Bianca Schoomby is a young lady who had made it through to the next round of the Miss South Africa competition. And here you can see her tweet where she said, I woke up this morning with a call from my mother, very confused, not even knowing where to start. I am devastated that someone dug up tweets from when I was 14 and 15 and displayed my childhood life in a negative way. So what had happened is Bianca Schoomby in 2014, so that was quite a long time ago, that was 6 years ago, when she was just a young teenager, she had just started high school, she put some things on Twitter that were not appropriate when we look back at them now. And people were so upset and so cross that she actually decided to withdraw from the Miss South Africa competition. Now, I'm not saying what I thought about her posts, but what I am saying is that the consequences for her were very serious. She had to give up her dream. I'm not saying what she did was right. I'm not saying what she did was wrong. But what I'm saying is, please remember that when she was not much older than you, she put some things online, and now she's a young adult, and it cost her her dream to enter the Miss South Africa and win the Miss South Africa competition. She has apologized to everybody, but what you say will stay. So please be very careful, Noveneers, about what you say online. Next is being respectful. No matter the grind, be kind. That means no matter how frustrated you feel or how mean someone is or just how tired you are, always be kind to people. Be careful how you say what you say, because people may take it the wrong way. For example, if you just write the words, hey, 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 it can sound very different, because when you're reading something, you can't hear the way that the person wants to say it. So maybe someone types these words, hey, 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 and in their mind, they're thinking, hey, hey, hey. But the person who reads it doesn't know that. And when they read those words, they hear, hey, hey, hey. Oh dear, they could misunderstand you, and that can cause very big problems, arguments, and I've even seen it end some friendships. So be careful how you say what you say. Rather speak in full sentences and use emojis, because if you put a smiley emoji with that, then it sounds friendly. If you put a cross emoji with that, then it sounds grumpy. Always remember to show kindness on the internet whenever you are communicating. Whatever you put out there is what people are going to remember you by. So maybe you've had a bad day. Don't come and say unkind things online, because the next day you're going to feel better, but those unkind words are still going to be there. Once again, watch out for things that you say. So just saying what you're doing could sound like you've been cross with someone. So rather use full sentences and say things like, "Hello, my friend, how are you today? What you doing?" Then that person knows that you are being friendly. Beware your punctuation. Punctuation is a way that people interpret the meaning of sentences. So, for example, if you use one question mark, the person will understand that you're asking them a question. But if you use lots of question marks, then it sounds like you're irritated when you're asking them the question. So, one question mark will sound like you're saying, "What are you doing?" But if you put a few question marks, it's going to sound like you're saying, "What are you doing?" And you're going to sound very unkind. Exclamation marks are also a very powerful way of sending a message about what you mean. So be careful how you use exclamation marks. Also be careful that you don't use too many of them, because remember, when you see an exclamation mark, it means there's lots of expression. And if you use lots of exclamation marks, that person might think you're shouting at them. Speaking of shouting, beware the capital letters. Never type all of your words in capitals when you are sending someone a message, because in the world of text, capital letters mean shouting. So if you ask a question, "Where is my toy?" with one question mark, it sounds like a normal sentence. But if you write it all in capitals, because in text speak, capital letters are shouting, that person's going to think that you are not being kind and you're shouting, "Where is my toy?" So be careful how you say what you say. People may take it the wrong way. Then always remember, beware the screenshot. Anything you text or type can be captured in a screenshot, and then it is there forever. Even if you delete a message, you don't know who caught a screenshot of it before you deleted it. So always think before you type anything. Imagine that anything you say on the internet, in a WhatsApp, in Google Classroom, on Facebook, on Instagram, on any of those digital platforms, anything you put there is exactly the same as putting it on a big billboard on the freeway. Imagine your words on a billboard for all to see. If you don't want that picture, that comment, that post to be on a billboard for the whole world to see, then definitely don't type it. And that is a really good way of regulating yourself and making sure that you are the best digital citizen that you can be. Before you hit send or enter, think, if this was on a billboard and everyone could see it, would I feel happy? Right, children. So that is the very important things to remember. Be safe, be ethical, and be respectful. And one last thing before we leave, just a reminder that if you are on Google Classroom and your teacher is busy teaching, so at the moment, some of our teachers are teaching children at home and in the classroom at the same time. And I have seen a lot of conversations happening in the chat box. And I have heard teachers asking you to stop chatting. And some children have ignored their teachers and have just carried on having conversations. That is not respectful. So please do remember that however you act online and whatever you put in a chat box needs to be as respectful as if you were seeing those people in real life. So remember that your teachers are watching and I am watching to see that you are respectful in the Google Classroom chat. I know that you can all be very responsible, safe, and ethical digital citizens. Right, next up, let's have a look at our birthdays for May. So from the 16th to the 31st of May, these are all our Noveneers that celebrated a birthday. I'm sure you got lots of digital citizens sending you messages for your birthday because we couldn't all be together, but I also hope that your days were very special, memorable, and you had lots of cake. We've also had some staff birthdays, Miss Moyo in Double Noughts and Miss Parsons at Novacare. They celebrated their birthday. And I can tell you that even though it's a June birthday, yesterday Miss Harris celebrated her birthday. Finally, children, since our last assembly, we've had 2 special days. Our Christian families celebrated Ascension Day on the 21st of May, and our Muslim families celebrated Eid al-Fitr on the 23rd of May. We truly hope that both our Christian and our Muslim community had a wonderful, special time celebrating and spending time with their loved ones. And that is the end of this week's assembly. Have a great week, everybody. Please remember that as we spend more time living in a digital world, you are never too young to be a good digital citizen, because Noveneers are going to change the world, and being a good digital citizen is one of the ways that we can make sure that happens. Have a wonderful week. Send in lots of love. Bye.